All right. Off the decks, Spinny, Vincenzovision. We got no Liam today. Liam's sick, but we got a special guest, NTHNSolo. Introduce yourself, man.
Gang, thanhanks for having me. My name's Nathan.
Let's go.
The nicest artist in the city.
Yeah,
Hey,
the most polite rapper you know.
Yeah, man.
Or person I know. I don't know.
Honestly,
if you ever got mad at me for any reason, I'd be actually heartbroken.
Bro, when he was
sad.
almost gonna not, like when they were like, oh, we have a flight in the morning and all that, when they were not gonna come, I was like, man, I'm so surprised because this is the like most genuine person I've met in our industry. Like no
100%.
glaze, keep it a buck.
Appreciate that. Nah, I really appreciate
It's
that.
a tough
man.
industry too, right? You know.
True. Nah, I try to keep it real most of the time, you know, just because I know it's cutthroat. Some people are a little, you know, wishy-washy, this and that, but it comes right back, you know. Meet people like you guys, you know. Good vibes always.
Awesome. This guy always has a smile on his face.
Bro, no, I get nervous. I get nervous. The truth is, I get nervous, bro. I'm like, oh man.
He's not actually nice. He's just nervous.
Yeah. Fuck, dude. Nah, man.
But no, even the first time I met you, I think just because Rocco introduced us, I'm pretty sure. And then the second time you said what's up to me, I'm like, why is this guy so nice? And you're like,
genuinely.
I was like, why are you so excited?
Crazy.
I was like, why are you so nice? And I was like,
it's like all a facade. It's totally
I'm actually insane.
But I'm glad we crossed paths. And
we were telling him earlier, like, I met him, technically only met him, Halloween was 3 months ago? When did you meet him? Probably way before that, for sure.
Year and a half ago?
Okay, yeah, a minute
A year ago? Not even, I think.
Because as you guys know, he's not from Ottawa, so he made friends with like a lot of the people in our industry, right, in Ottawa.
Yeah. I was thinking
creative industry for sure.
Bro,
creative,
it feels like you've been here forever, I'm not going to lie.
I actually could agree.
And that's what the crazy
feels like you're just a regular, like, you know what I mean? Feels like you grew up in Barhaven.
Ottawa mans.
Yeah.
No.
I feel like
that's a good thing though.
No.
But just to even jump right into it, I always tell people, like, there's such a big scene here in Ottawa, and this just shows its true colors. Is okay, here's someone that kind of wanted to be accepted into the scene and just wanted to just try things out, and that's part of the reason why I left my hometown of Thunder Bay. Is I just wanted a little bit more from life. So I was like, okay, let me see what's out here, and I had no idea what was out here. Like
most people don't when they come to Ottawa,
and that's the big thing. Is I talk about this so often, is I can't stand it when people say that there's nothing to do and there's no scene here. There's such a big fashion scene, such a big music scene, such a big night scene. People knock the nightlife. Is it the best in the world? No, it's not. But in comparison to where I came from, I always just appreciate things a lot more. So even just simple stuff like that we do down on the wire, where it's like, okay, let's have a little thrifting event. Having the same faces.
Bro, the studio turned into like a whole event space.
100%. Actually, you called it the third.
Yeah, it's actually now it's called, you know what I mean? Yeah.
So just having people to come out just to come out, and sometimes you're just going to see that same face. It's always you're going to see new people.
Yep.
It's a great mix of, hey, I'm going to go see my friends, and also I'm going to meet some new people. Like, there's never a time where I don't go to an event and then I don't meet anybody new. And I think that's why I go to events so much, and from there, that's why I'm connecting with so many people. But that's what I love about Ottawa is how accepting they are of individuals like me that come with open arms. And here I am, I'm like, okay, let's just have a conversation, and the next thing you know, we're sitting down in a rabbit hole.
And literally, podcast, right? Honestly.
So that's the difference too.
I would have never thought this 3 months ago when I dabbed this guy up for the first time.
Yeah.
Even when you came to me with the idea of, hey, do you want to start a podcast? 4 days later, we were filming. In Thunder Bay, we probably would have talked about it for all winter, and then 2027 filmed one episode, and then never did it. Yeah. But that's the difference in Ottawa is I feel like
we're a hungry city.
We're a very hungry and young city, and I feel like especially people our age are really driving that force forward. But but even yourself kind of joining the music scene, how long have you been in it? I know that you've dropped a lot of music in the past. When did you kind of get into the creative scene, be like, hey, this is something I kind of want to do with my life?
Shit, I can't lie. It started pretty early for me. I was performing at people when I was like 16, like kind of just like having fun. Like yeah. Like I wasn't even allowed in, to be honest. Like they're like, yo, you can perform. As soon as you're done, you're out. You know. But my brother. Anyway, I was well connected like from time, so like I would just kick up there, and I felt like I was in the scene, but I was just a little too young, and I wasn't taking myself too seriously. But I think 2018, 2019 is when I was like, hey, I'm getting motion, might as well. And then it wasn't the best but I was still doing it, you know. So I would say around then.
You were doing more than the average person.
Average,
yeah,
for sure.
Yeah.
That's a big thing with content.
Yeah. It was just interesting because I did a lot of numbers at a young age, and I was confused. Like I was like, it was like my second song, and then I dropped it. Like second song I made, and I dropped it and did like hundreds of thousands of streams, you know.
Wow.
So yeah, I was just kind of like.
Yo, shut up the song. What's it called?
Yeah, too late. It's done numbers on every platform, and I don't know how. It was on Genius all of a sudden, and I'm like, what is happening?
Awesome.
Yeah.
That's crazy, bro.
And I didn't know how to back it, so I was kind of confused. I'm like, do I drop another song? It's not even that good. How do I know if it's that good? This is my third song I've made.
You get in your head, right?
Yeah.
And
so,
how many years ago was what year would that have been?
That was like 2018.
2018. Is that your biggest song to date?
Still, yeah.
Oh, okay, interesting.
Like I dropped the album, and then it dropped from like the top 5 on like the Spotify or whatever. 5 months later, it's back up there. You know what I mean? So yeah.
Replay value, you know?
Yeah, low key, and it was the rough version. I made it on the plane to LA and shit. Like got there, recorded with my boy.
What kind of vibe is that? I've never heard the track. What kind of vibe is it?
It's like a sleepy like R&B like lullaby song. You know what I mean? I don't know. Super clean. Super.
Is it the track you're most proud of?
Bro, low key. I remember I was at Rito back when like that Mackenzie King bus station was like jumping, bro. Like
the Rito days, bro.
Bro, I remember seeing some guy and he came up to me. He's like, "Bro, me and my girl just broke up, and that song really held me down." And
that's when you know.
And he was like real as fuck, looking me in my eyes, and I'm like, "Damn, bro, I actually moved somebody with my song."
That's motivation.
For
real.
So then from there, it was kind of demotivated because I'll drop a song and I knew like damn well I put more effort into it. It was better, and then it's not doing the same, you know. And then I do another one,
right, yeah.
drop a project, drop another one, and I'm like trying to beat it for a minute. And then at some point I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna be performing this as long as people fuck with it. And I still perform it at those like events.
Was that the one you performed at? Did you perform that at the live podcast?
Yes.
Okay, so I heard it. Okay, I remember which one.
Exactly.
Yeah, you shouted it out. I do.
Yeah.
Remember. Okay, I remember that.
And it's crazy because I'll go to random places in the city, and I know nobody in the crowd, but I see someone singing it, and I'm like, that's cool.
That happened to me with one of my managers that went to the show, and I saw him singing word for word, and I was like,
no way.
How do you know this? Like that's crazy.
That's insane.
Shows the Ottawa's scene, man. It's bigger than.
Does it bother you? Does it get in your head of like, damn, like why has it been? I've been working on this for so many years. Does it bother you? That's your biggest track. Is that something motivates you, or like, damn, I want to surpass this because I know my potential?
To be honest, I've learned that time isn't that linear, you know, and like I'm still present with that song. It's not in the past. It's still with me here, you know, and I know, like when I drop the project, like this time around, go get that shit, by the way. But everyone has told me it's grown. It's my music more mature, you know, and it's cool that not everyone's seeing it. But I don't think my numbers are supposed to, like, really relate to impact necessarily. You know what I mean? I could drop a song that doesn't really do that many numbers, but it had a greater impact than that.
That's a good way to think about it. That's awesome.
How do you feel about being an Ottawa artist compared to, let's say, anywhere else in the country or anywhere else just in the world? Do you enjoy where Ottawa's at from a music standpoint? You're like, damn, I'm happy I'm in Ottawa rather than a place that's bumping right now, just because you have a little bit more appreciation.
Mm-hmm. I think we have a certain accent, like when we pull up places, like, yeah, we might be confused as like Toronto people or whatever when we go to America and all that, but we have a certain sound, and I don't know. I think it's dope. I think
there is definitely a certain sound.
Yeah, it's coming. It's coming for sure. But
and do you feel like that's part of the community is so tight knit where we just kind of share the love of that sound?
I don't know. Every end has its own. I think because I'm from here, I'm a little biased. But like, there's literally like a South Side like sound kind of at this point. And then there's the West, and then there's the East. I think the East is more R&B and melodic for sure. And that's what we're gonna represent. And yeah, it's really cool. It's really fucking cool. I'm not gonna.
Ottawa's rap game is very versatile too. Because I remember when I was in high school, it was a lot of like the West Side. They were popping, bro, with all the tracks, like, and South Side too. They're both like, it was like club bangers, you know, like that kind of song. And then now I find Ottawa music is a lot more, like you said, very melodic, and it's kind of like hip hop R&B. Like I know you work with NMT Nico.
Yeah.
He was one of the first like Ottawa artists that I actually ever listened to. Would you say that is like the East Side sound?
Kind of, yeah, kind of. He's also very versatile, and he was doing it from like a young age too. But Yeah, low key. I don't know. It's still in the making. That's the beauty of it. There's so much opportunity, and that's why I don't want to leave too, because I always felt like leaving for the longest time, and then I'm like, wait, I'm about to miss out on something special. Like Ottawa,
you could be like the Ottawa person to curate that sound.
Exactly. Right? Toronto, you hop into Toronto, you hop into Montreal. You have to work with who they are. They are a real culture, and being here, it's actually a crazy blessing that I don't think a lot of us realize when we're actually just on a day-to-day lifestyle, just pulling up to these events. People support each other. We're nice. We're nice. We're a nice crowd. We're not that hard. So
we were
you go
just
perform,
talking about that.
Yeah, you go perform somewhere else, they are cutthroat because they have shit that they already like. They have their favorite artists from their city. Their favorite artists are from their city, and they play it on the radio. You know, but here it's like, we just appreciate anyone that comes through, and
I agree. You know, I think that, like, coming from someone that's, I mean, I only DJ'd in 3 cities, Ottawa, Montreal, Toronto, but I think in Montreal, there's no chance I could drop, like, a Baka Not Nice throwback and it would go off like how it would in Ottawa.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Like, those songs, the Toronto, or maybe even Ontario love, I would say, or just Ottawa being a more, like, a nicer city and not as dog-eat-dog. I think Montreal and Toronto is a little too much, like, it's competitive, very dog-eat-dog. Everyone's trying to, everyone in Toronto's trying to be like Drake. Everyone in Montreal is trying to be like whoever the biggest artist is. I find, from what I've seen, but I'm not in the music game, so it's a bit different, right?
True.
I'm just playing
it. Yo, you're definitely in the scene, man. We ain't shit without you guys, bro. Without the DJs in the room, man. Like, wow.
Do you have a DJ when you perform?
Like Can't Go Broke has been like my DJ from time, and that's my brother.
Shout
actually,
out Connor,
like,
man.
Yeah, man. Like I've known him for like close to 15 years. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he saw me. I showed him my first rap. To be honest, I was a rapper before all this.
Okay.
I didn't actually sing. I didn't want to sing. I wanted to be fucking Lloyd Banks, bro. I actually,
real shit.
Yeah, 100%.
Yo, that's crazy. That's
yeah. So
when did that? Like, when did you switch from rapper to like more artist?
Honestly, my first song, I was rapping. Like, Problems is still out. I thought about deleting it for the longest time, but it's still a banger. Yeah, I let it go. I'm like, y'all can see the growth, you know?
It's the best, bro.
Yeah. But after my first song, I kind of just hopped on certain type beats back then, you know, YouTube, whatever, boom, boom, boom.
Yeah.
And I just started fucking with it, and like, I don't know, man. I wasn't that type of person too. I was a nice kid. Like, I didn't really like have a lot to rap about in the way that I wanted to rap. You know what I mean?
Rap,
yeah, exactly. I know there's certain rap that's still out there for me and all that, and I still get around to it. And honestly, it's out. Like, I still fuck with it. I still rap, to be honest. But
does it affect what you listen to? Like, do you think the music that you make changes what you listen to, or you still listen to the same shit from when you were younger?
I listen to a lot of the same shit from when I was younger. Yeah.
What do you like?
It's hard for me to. Damn, I love T-Pain. He's the GOAT. Crazy influential artists that we don't appreciate.
I'm Sprung is such a good song, bro.
Insane.
It's random, but I just love that song.
Yeah, like Chris Brown, Justin Bieber.
Another Canadian GOAT.
Yeah. Oh man.
He needs to drop some more music.
Yeah.
I'm waiting on some Bieber.
Yeah. Like Tory Lanez is a big one for me.
Free Tory.
Free Tory.
Free Tory till it's backwards. He always drops like old random music at new times.
Yep.
So he's fine.
Yep.
It's okay.
And I could name a few more. Yeah.
Because you've been working with lots of individuals with the city. Your last project was produced at House of Ensemble, correct?
No, I actually did the listening party there.
But you did work. Did you work? What part did you work with City Fidelio? Was it just the one track?
Yeah. I pulled up on him. With my freaking home stew shit. That was a crazy session, actually.
Yeah, tell me about what it was like working with him, because I feel like City, over the past 2 years, I was always afraid of talking to him, to be honest with you, because when I first moved, that was like the one person where I was like, hey, this is like the one guy that like you have to respect. Like, you can't not be appreciative of him. And that was me just still being new to the city, and I didn't understand who he was. But I just knew that people looked up to him, and then I was like, okay. Still goes out of his way to say what's up to me. Like, even that, I was like, even recognizing me, or I'm like, damn, like that's I'm just still a Thunder Bay kid, and then here I am, this guy named City Fidelio is known as the mayor, and I'm like, hey, like,
this guy
about? You know, if you're called the mayor within the industry, and I feel like he's kind of he has a say in a lot of things at the end of the day. What was it like working with him as an individual? What's he kind of like? And you guys dropped a track together where it's like he's pretty established. Like he's connected to a lot of things. Where
for
like,
Ottawa,
damn.
he's for sure.
Nah, that was a blessing for real, because I grew up here as well, and he's been around forever, and I just heard the name.
I always heard the name.
Yeah,
ever since I started DJing, always hear the name.
Yeah.
Always.
And then
shout out City, man.
Yeah, shout out City, bro. Shout out you, man. We actually talked a lot more at OCL. There was this ball league that we would like.
Bro, mess him up
with.
tell me about that league all the
Yeah,
time.
yo, that was crazy. Yeah, man. And
I wish that was still around, low key.
it was so sick, cause yo, like in and out of games, you just chop it up with people in the scene, and I always wanted to talk to them, but it was never on like the time where I didn't want to force it. You know what I mean?
100%.
So yeah, he'd always just be like, yo, you're going hard, just giving me advice like left and right, and I always appreciate it because I'm like, man, like he has real life experience,
100%.
you know, and I kept telling him like, yo, I'm working on a project, and it was the same project, but I had a totally different name, and he kept checking up on it with me, and he'd be like, how's the project going?
It motivates you too,
Yeah,
Because he didn't have to do any of that.
No,
have to talk to you.
It's just love.
No.
And for the position that he's in, with the connections that he has, I feel like he could be like, yeah, good job, kid, and then never talk to you again. And I feel like that's what makes him different than just other individuals in other cities, or just even within the city itself. Is like he kind of looks over the whole scene, I feel.
Yep.
And he's making sure that everyone's taken care of and everyone's respected.
In the music, for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
But yeah, and then what happened next? Yeah, we got each other's number. I'm sending him a lot of the shit I'm making from the crib, because I'm like, I got the home studio set up. I'm so proud of it, you know. I'm like bouncing my shit. And I'm like, yo, who wants to record, bro? Yeah, like, I'm gonna open my own studio at this point, you know.
Awesome. Oh, you're making the beats.
That's what I was thinking. No.
Okay.
I have like producers and shit that send me shit.
Okay.
Yeah, which is dope. And then I remember sending him a bunch of shit, and I was like, they all had like opens on it, you know what I mean? Just to see, just to see. And he'd be like, it's dope, and nothing like really like was there, you know what I mean? And then we had a session. Finally, we locked it in, just me and him. We tried to like set up the studio. We had so many like technical issues, bro. So annoying. I'm like, fuck.
Like when you were inside the studio?
And we only had a couple hours, you know, so the whole time we're just trying to figure it out. And then finally we figured it out. We just playing, like, I'm just playing shit. And he's like, cool. And then I'm like, and then I have this one, you know? And then I just took out my open verse on After Party.
Okay.
Like my first verse. And he's like, bro, this is the one. And I'm like, what? I didn't even mean for you to hop on
It's
this
always
thing,
like the one where you don't.
Yeah.
It's so
exactly.
true. It's so true.
So he's like, load it up, whatever. So I actually engineered for the first time with him, which was a dope experience for me. And like,
that's awesome.
Yeah, and he just recorded his verse, light work. So imagine like half of this like 2-hour session, we were just figuring out the shit, you know what I mean?
To make sure it's perfect.
To make sure it's working, you know? Like, no, like the mic wasn't working.
Oh,
like,
no, okay.
Yeah, we were having
you weren't even perfecting.
Yeah.
That's real.
No, bro. And then at the end, we figured it out, and then he just locked.
Shit ain't sweet. That's just how you guys know. Shit is not sweet.
Yeah, yo, so unlucky to be
Called
honest.
Izzy Rose. Shit ain't sweet.
Yeah.
the first, just like how this podcast, we said we're gonna film at what, like 9:45. I'm pretty sure it's 11 p.m. right now.
Yeah, great. Yo, this wasn't supposed to happen, yo. I almost flopped.
I was nagging him, man.
Yeah,
hard.
yo, shout out you, bro. Shout out you, man.
Because if it didn't happen, I'm gonna be honest with this industry. The only thing I would like, that I wish, you know, God, if He shined a light on all of us and could change one thing, it would be that everyone's time management is better. Because the nightlife, everyone has like horrible time management. If we didn't do this today, it probably wouldn't have happened for another 3 weeks to a month, and
even longer. To be
bro,
honest.
honestly, yeah. Because like the last time I think I had a conversation with you, aside from Saturday at Room, probably a month before that.
Yeah, for sure.
But it's the link ups mean more when that happens, right?
Yeah.
That's also why I like the industry. Double-sided edge, you know.
And yeah, the best shit comes from the ones you least expect. The shoots,
always.
The sets that you were gonna give away, and then you're like,
Yes.
you end up pulling up, and you're like, wait,
Exactly.
this is a fucking time.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, no, I'm super down. I learned that with Chaz too. Like we've shot like the worst times ever, you know, like no sleep, need to get a sunrise. Yeah,
Okay,
and my manager too.
Oh,
like,
word.
Crazy combination. Yeah,
Okay,
'cause we
fire.
get the plot and then just shoot right after. You know
That's-
what I mean?
It's awesome that way because they actually care for your future.
100%.
And they want you to benefit. Right? That's why I locked in with this guy, man. For real.
Yeah, man.
When did you meet him?
Went to high school together.
Oh, so
Yeah.
okay. So
Yeah.
knowing him before you, okay, fine.
And he was like football, like MMA, like just in the like athlete bag
Wait,
for
hold
a
on.
while.
Chaz can fight?
Oh yeah, don't try it, bro.
Shit.
Do not try it.
I thought you meant he was filming that. Oh, he was
no.
Yeah,
Don't try him.
Oh,
yeah.
I don't know, but I definitely.
Chaz is like him. He's too nice of a guy. Where I was like, bro, if he ever.
Yeah.
If I ever got slapped by Chaz, I'm like, yeah, I deserve that. I deserve that.
Yeah, shit's crazy.
But you work with City. Who has been someone within the city where you're like, damn, I loved working with you, or just like, thank you for taking the time to even say some nice words. So for me, was actually City Fidelity's friend, which was Aiden Sykes.
Mm.
I remember it was the Cranium is when Izzy performed. Anyways, we had a live performance, but after the show, we just started talking, and then I didn't realize who he was in the moment, but this guy took so much time out of his day, and he's like he's a name in Toronto. Like, he is someone that I just couldn't believe at the end of the day. He could have been talking to anyone else in the room, you know, building connections, other people. He must have talked to me 15, 20 minutes where I was like, damn, like, as individuals like him, like, I have such a deep love for him, because knowing you don't have to be doing that, but he took me to the side and he's like, it's just a simple conversation, but it went a long way. Is there anyone to yourself, like, for yourself, that we're like, damn, like, I appreciate that, even though they're not the biggest name in the world, or who's someone that you're like, I respect you for doing that?
To be honest, I have a funny ass story.
Let's hear it.
Probably Designer. Not even lying.
Bro, like, I got bras in Atlanta.
Yeah, dog. I met him when I was 16. First time in LA.
I'm trying to time
2 hours.
Damn.
Yeah,
2016. Wait, he was peak Designer.
So wait, you were 16,
bro,
so that was like when Panda came out.
Bro, the insane time to meet Designer. Yeah,
that's crazy.
Dog,
that's awesome.
No funny shit. My boy Zion, shout out Zion by the way, Ottawa man too, just in LA, signed to Sony, whatever. Yeah, y'all search him up. Insane. He wanted me to come out because he just got signed. He's like, yo, pull up. I came through. 2 hours later, he's like, yo, we just got to the crib. He's like, fuck, I have a session, you know? He's like, to be honest, it's a producer. We're gonna go check him. I don't know if you know him, like Mike Dean, you know, like just.
No.
And then I was like, I actually don't know, bro. And I was like. And then he's like, really? I didn't know the names.
Okay, you know what?
I was stupid at that
I wouldn't either.
Exactly.
I wouldn't either, unfair. Would you know who Mike Dean was at 16?
No, but now that I know Mike
exactly,
Dean,
yeah.
like...
Okay, I want to now keep going.
Sorry,
continue.
Sorry.
Bro, the whole time we were like, I get there, he's like, my name's Mike, whatever. Good to meet you, you know? Yeah, I know. Yeah, kicked it. Like as soon as I walked in, he offered me a dab, bro, and I'm like, fuck, this guy's a fucking
real dab.
Yeah, he's
allegedly, he offered that.
Yeah.
Yeah, bro.
Allegedly.
Oh yeah,
Allegedly.
Oh yeah, allegedly. To be honest, I was So, allegedly, yeah. So, fuck.
Nathan. Nathan, all those fake stories.
Yeah. Dude, I'm gassing it right now.
Sorry, please continue with that.
But yeah, so boom, and then I'm like, no. 15 minutes later, Designer walks in. The kids are here. I'm just like, what the fuck?
That sounded so accurate.
Yeah, I'm just like, what the fuck? And then he's like, what up? My name's Designer, you know. And then his boy walks in, big ass like panda on his like pendant, you know. And he's like, roll up, just puts a bunch of weed on the counter, a bunch of gravity, you know. It's just like, bala, you know, like. Yeah, bro.
Why not, bro? Of course.
Yeah, and then he just fucking just starts playing unreleased shit. We start chopping it up, bro. I think I kicked it with him for like 3-4 hours, cause like him and his boy.
And this
is
like, with Mike Dean in the room.
Yeah, but they had to go to their session, so they went upstairs, and we just kicked it in the kitchen and just, bro, like,
that's sick.
Had a good conversation. I couldn't understand a single fucking word. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Oh,
bro.
So that's not a stereotype. Like he actually.
No, I actually couldn't understand. You just laugh it off. To be honest, I was just like, haha, yeah, bro, it's crazy.
So yeah, you thought that's actually.
Bro, and you just hear random words like New York or this, and he was there, and then he's like, I'm dropping this shit next. But bro, he looked at me in my eyes, and he's like, nah, I'm so excited for this shit to drop. You know, like that artist feeling where you're just like, bro, I really enjoy this shit.
What was it?
I don't know. I don't think it came out. I don't think it came out. Yeah, but
because he had that song with Kanye.
Yeah, that was a crazy one.
That's probably so. Was Mike Dean working with Designer when you were at that Stu session, or did you just there?
He was just there to say hi.
That's cool.
Yeah, Mike Dean was with my boy Zion in the studio upstairs.
Okay.
Like where the fuck, bro? I saw the Travis documentary and the Kanye one and shit. I'm like, oh my god, I was literally right there. I was literally right there. And the Travis one when the crib was in construction and shit, like. I was like, damn, that could have been very close to when I was there. You know what I mean? So I was like, that's fucking cool. But nah, he's
that was a minute ago too. You said you were 16.
Yeah, that was wild. Bro, 2 hours in LA, and all of this just happened.
That's crazy.
Crazy.
LA though. That's
LA,
not right. That's
crazy.
How many times have you been to LA?
I don't know. Like Probably like under 10 times.
Okay.
Yeah.
Would you say each time, maybe not just LA, but like every time you've went to maybe like a more popular city than Ottawa, you've made a connection?
In some sort of way, yeah.
Maybe like let's say you and like not like if you're traveling with your shorty, you know what I mean? Like if you're just going for business.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, no, like whether it's like Toronto or Montreal, especially like I can't lie, like having friends as well that are in the scene and that are like showing you what's going on already. Like I learned a lot just off like being in a room and just observing. You know what I mean?
That's fair, man.
Yeah, like backstage or whatnot. Just this is interesting.
You watch and learn, and it's kind of it's like from your OGs, right? From the roots, whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. No, it's cool. Toronto, sometimes you're just there and you're at another concert. They're like, "Wait, are you Nathan?" And I'm like, that's so cool. I'm like, that's so cool. Yeah.
Well, I talk about it with so many different Ottawa artists, and yourself included. There's so many times where like I'll just be playing someone like yourself or Izzy Rose, where I could be.
Shout out you, by the way, bro.
I could be playing.
He told me about your
You
music.
post my shit, bro. Thank you, bro. For real.
I wonder if you ever noticed, like, I use your songs for like every story I ever post. I'm
bro,
like,
fuck.
One thing I'm gonna say one thing. There's no bigger Ottawa rap or Ottawa music fan than my cameraman Vincenzovision.
Love.
Honestly, he shows love to everyone, every Ottawa like artist that is doing it in the industry. I'm gonna be honest. Like I find out from Ottawa rappers through this guy. So I'm gonna give. Sorry to interrupt you.
Yeah,
I had to let the people know, man.
but the
Thunder Bay.
Thunder Bay, changed man. But coming and listening to you guys, I could be listening to Kanye, I could be listening to Drake, but I type in Nathan. That's where I see Ottawa has so much potential, even for yourself. Where I was like, damn, like this is a song where like I would listen to, like there's so many people, friends wise, I'll buy your art, I'll do this, I'll do that, just because of course I'm going to support you. But I regardless, I'm gonna listen to it because I want to listen to it.
Yep.
Summer Day After Party comes on, I want to listen to that. So that's one thing I can't lie. I really try to even show people Ottawa songs just because I actually do feel there is such a high talent level, and that's where I'm even just excited for the show. Like I feel like we are hopefully gonna elevate that and just kind of shine a light on the city more than anything, and just kind of get out of this rut of old generation. I feel like, especially in the past couple of years, like that new generation is kind of taking over, and I just see a lot of talent within the industry. Is there anyone for yourself who you're like up and coming, even a little bit younger, or just kind of released a track recently, or anything, even if it's not even music, like art, comedy, anything like that you're like, hey, that person's up next?
That's a good question.
That's a really good question. I don't want to like.
Okay, one might be like a little. What about give like a 2 or 3, like like a little shout out.
To be honest, like shout out Mizey, man. Like shout out Mizey for real. Like I've done a lot of like artwork behind the scenes with him.
Shout out Mizey. Guys doing artwork they don't even know. Yeah,
he's working really hard. That whole circle, I love the whole environment of everyone pushing each other, the support. It's love for real, like off the deck, like they just be, like everyone's real with each other.
True.
Everyone's just cool with each other,
That's what I love about Ottawa.
Yeah, I love that shit. You see what I did there?
Yeah. For a second, I'm like, is he showing up the podcast? Oh, double time.
Nah, but it's crazy.
But he's not an artist.
No. But yo, I want to work with a lot of people. I want to work with anyone that want to work with me that wants to work with me.
You get reached out a lot, like from people trying to work with you.
A little bit. I don't know. I'm just not really out in the nightlife a lot. Fair. So I feel like I need to get out there. I did a lot this summer, but
I met you in the nightlife, so like you're kind of like when I guess you're supporting your friends that are having events and stuff like that. Right?
For sure. Yeah. And yeah, in general, like I wasn't really friends with like a lot of people in a lot of these scenes and all that. But I was like, okay, I fuck what they're doing. Kind of like the whole like Mizey, Playhouse, whatever's going on. I just saw it. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna pull up. I'm gonna show love.
Bye, Evan.
Yeah, nah. There's a lot of artists. I knew you guys would ask me this fucking question, and I was telling her, this is
what we're gonna wrap it off with.
Yeah. I'm working with anyone that wants to work with me. That's what it is, man.
He really is the nicest guy, man. He's not even gonna give an answer to that.
It has to be good though. It has to be good. Just try.
It's weird for me too. It's my first time really talking about it openly. I'm really bad for getting starstruck by the simplest of people. So
agreed, same.
When I saw Mizey for the first time, when I saw G Faisal for the first time, there is no way. Like, I get so awkward, and I come off. So if anyone's watching this, I've like completely
I can't confirm.
you.
I can't confirm. No, I can't confirm.
It's actually crazy. I become so silent, and I just stare at you, so and I don't want to go up and talk to you, and I feel really bad because that's not who I am.
But he's such he loves and appreciates the work.
And it's so perfect example is Evan Solaris Media. I saw him at McDonald's at like 2 a.m. one day, and I only met him like a day or two, a couple times. But I completely avoided him, like I didn't know who he was. It's because
you're a real one for saying this on camera.
It's because to me, and it's still, I think it's just my Thunder Bay mentality is. I think you're such an interesting individual, where you might not even be the biggest person in the world. You might have 100 followers, but to me, if you're doing something, and I'm like, damn, that's a cool person. Like, there's so many people where even I've gotten to know them, where it's just like I don't want to be my full self because I'm like, wait, what if Nathan thinks I'm like dumb or some shit? You know, like it's one of those things though where
I actually get that, man. No one will really admit that it changes.
It does.
You see different people, you act a different way sometimes.
That was actually, I'm not gonna lie, that was, I'm gonna, full fanboy, that was me with Nicky the first time I met him. I'd heard him DJ countless times. Even I was talking to Sarah about it. She was like, you had asked like Nicky to DJ. Man, I was asking this guy to like open for him or come like listen to him DJ and just shadow off him. Genuinely, like he said, and now he's like a very close friend of mine. So the like appreciation that Ottawa people have for other Ottawa people, or even someone that moved to Ottawa, is like miles ahead of certain other cities. I can definitely vouch for that.
And I feel like not as many cities have that. We're not A-list people, B-list people, but there's those small individuals that have such an important personality, importance within the city. Where like, damn, the fact that
it's real value.
The fact that I'm within the same room as them, that's what kind of freaks me out. Of like, damn, that's them. Like,
it's like when you brought me to the studio and I met Mizey and Izzy and all them. I felt the same way. No cap.
Yeah, to be honest. Izzy's another one too. Crazy.
Goated artist.
Yeah, crazy.
Real. I have one last question before we end it off. So if you're not going to answer that one, what is one artist, they have to be Canadian, that you want to work with, make a track with?
I actually got to say Justin Bieber.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm super down. It's crazy.
Yo,
that's a crazy one.
Beeps, hit up Nathan.
That's a crazy one, yeah.
I feel like that's like the perfect genre, like his genre and like style matches.
Yeah.
With me, be fire. I think it's going to happen one day. 2026, 2025.
If this guy's down to keep making music, to be honest. Yeah.
Is he even in Toronto?
I don't know, but goated artist for real. Yeah.
I'm just gonna ask my final question. Is there ever a time where you're like, I'm done, like I want to quit this, like, or is there a time even in the early days where you're like you were hesitant of trying this music thing, or just even like what was your first step, and also was there a time that you're like, I'm just not gonna do this?
Mm-hmm. My first step in what way? Sorry.
Just even jumping in the music scene, because it's not everyone could be like, I'm gonna click the share button.
Oh yeah.
Like when you first get started, even telling someone that you did music. Like, was there a time that was hard to transition? Is there a time that you ever wanted to stop just because there's a certain time in your life?
Mm-hmm. Well, I say the first step was so gradual and so, like, I hate the word, but like organic or whatever, you know? I didn't realize I was actually becoming an artist for a while. I was just dropping songs and I was...
You're like naive about it first.
Yeah, I'm like, wait, people actually consider me an artist at this point, you know?
Yeah.
So... once that like realization came in, I was hot and ready. I was just young and active. I didn't really realize the harsh truth of the industry and that it's really like an up and down roller coaster with this shit. So I was vibing for a few years, and then it hit me when like the engagement would go down, and I'm like, dog, like I have to get a job and like actually grind like really hard right now because I'm not in school right now. And I always had a job, to be honest. I don't know why I'm acting like I decided to have a job. I just decided to work harder. You know what I mean? I've been working since I was like...
bored, decided to make a job. You didn't.
Yeah, no, I was fucking 15 already having a job.
Picked up a computer or whatever.
Nah, she was tough, and even, bro, like last month I wanted to quit too.
Really?
I've been rolling out this album, and I'm like, man, you just overthink it for a second. You're like, my life hasn't changed at all. You know what I mean? And I just gave this shit my all, you know? But all you need is time, just balance, and... it happens quite often. when I mean quite often, like maybe like once a year, I just kind of sit back and I'm like, last year was my year, the year before was my year, shit like that. But I found a realization over this year, especially with the album and just how hard I've been treating this artist shit like a real business. There's no stopping. There's no stopping. And it doesn't matter.
Look at the most famous artists, bro.
Yeah.
Bruno Mars just made a song with Sexy Red.
Yeah.
like artists like that, no matter how hard you elevate, like you said, no matter who you work with, it's never going to stop.
Yeah.
It could be the biggest, it could be the smallest artist.
Yeah, I know where I want to be, and it's coming. I just can't lose having fun with this shit, you know?
Yeah.
I just still got to have fun with it. And
do you look at it like work, or is it all art to you?
No, it's definitely work. It's definitely work as well, yeah. Especially when people are paying you and there's deadlines and, you know, you schedule the shoot with a videographer, even though that could be your friend, it could be something very casual. At the end of the day, if you don't do that, you're treating this like a passion, and you're in the wrong industry at that point. You're not doing it because, dog, like, I go perform someplace and then I go right to work, you know? And I'm at my workplace, retail, and these kids that, like, were tweaking over me, like, I'm doing autographs and shit, and then they're seeing me at Saint Laurent every day, you know what I mean? They're like, hey, Nathan! And at first I was, like, weirded out, you know? Because they're trying to take pictures of my uniform and shit, you know? I was like, what the fuck, you know? And now I realize, I'm like, this is so cool. This is actually very special because, you know, I'm going to be gone, and one day it'll be, like, a nice memory, you know? Kids will say, I remember when he was like, here, bro, you know, shit like that. It's cool.
When did you sign your first autograph? And what was that feeling like? We were like,
and where was it? Like, where was not where the autograph was, where, like, the location.
It was at my old high school in, like, 2019.
Oh, at school.
Yeah. Yeah. Shit was crazy, actually.
Were you a student, or were you, like, going back to perform?
No, I graduated in 2017.
Okay.
And I remember going back, and, like, this older sister of the girl there, she's like, yo, like, she's, like, my age. She's like, yo, my little sister really wants an autograph. And then she comes through, like, a piece of paper, and we just signed it there.
That's awesome. How cool did that feel to you? Where, like, as you're signing, where, like, I feel like to you that would be, I mean, if it was to me, I'm like, I just won a Grammy. Like, did you get that rush of adrenaline?
For sure.
Oh, yeah.
That was insane. And then just, like, I don't know, it might be close to a year now, actually. I think I signed, like, 100 autographs in a day at this, like, elementary school. And, yeah, the whole assembly lined up. Like, yeah, it was like, actually, awesome. Yeah, it was me, Banks, Jemima, and someone else. Actually, it was a crazy time.
That name sounds familiar. Yeah. Do you know Gent and Amaru, like country club pool boy?
Amaru set up that show.
No way.
Yeah.
Bro, Amaru. So funny enough, Amaru used to work here at Rabbit Hole.
Damn.
So I met him through that, and then I went to their show at Blues Fest.
Yeah, he's insane.
Yeah,
he's
bro.
insane. That whole group's insane.
Did you see their cipher?
Insane.
Bro.
Insane.
Shout out to Amaru. Shout out.
Yeah, shout out to East too.
Eugen, yeah. Say a word.
Yeah, Eugen too. East Side. Yeah.
Wow.
Crazy.
So, again, Ottawa music that you don't know until you know, right?
Yep.
Okay. Well, thanks for pulling up.
Yeah, before we wrap things up, we always do, of course,
we gotta put you on. Put you on.
We'll ask you, so basically every single episode, we're just trying to get out of the rut that Ottawa's boring, there's nothing to do. So every single episode, what we've been doing is we challenge the viewer, go and do this. What's something that we'll put in your hands today, whether it be an event, comedy show, art show, just like anything in activity that you enjoy, or someone should just get out of the house and say, you know, give this a shot.
Oh, hold up.
We're putting the pressure on you, but we're also putting on the pressure on the viewer to actually go and do it.
Yeah.
Hey, take us too.
Damn, hold up.
We're literally forcing people to say, hey, stop talking that there's nothing to do. We're telling you, every single episode there's something to do.
There is something to do.
What are you telling them to do?
You guys are listening to Nathan now. You're now listening to Nathan Solo.
The guy who hung out with Mike Dean and Designer.
Allegedly.
Well, I don't believe it, but
I don't know.
Damn. To be honest, wherever she is, go see DJ Rara spin.
Hey,
that's a crazy one.
Shout out.
That's a crazy one.
Shout out.
That's a crazy one.
She's like, you're so annoying.
Yeah, go see all the DJs
Ottawa DJs.
Ottawa DJs, man.
Or
This
even
is what's holding this city together right now. I promise you. Go see them spin. Please.
So yeah, our challenge: look up her account, find where she's playing, and go to one of her events.
At Sarah Dadfar.
Sarah.
Sorry, Sarah. Oh my god, I keep fucking up her name. Oh my god, bro. Whatever. We'll keep that in too.
Yeah, go check her out. Support female DJs.
Yep.
That's another thing too.
Yeah, that too. Ottawa female DJs are killing it lately, man. I'll say that.
Yep.
They
super tough.
It's like a new wave is like the younger DJs, you know, like in general. Just I didn't know many DJs that were close to my age until I became one. If that makes sense. Like I swear, I don't know. A lot of the DJs maybe like 5 years ago, the more popular ones are like the T-Dots, the Mez, like the Messims, like a bit older than my demographic, like 22, 23.
Yeah.
Now, the young guns are like posting content, doing like gigs in other towns, and playing like venues like City at Night or any different venue. They're very hungry, I find. And I'm not even talking about myself. I'm talking about all the young DJs. I've never seen more young DJs succeed in a city like how Ottawa is. Because in Montreal, like I was saying, it's very dog-eat-dog. The young DJs, they're trying to become the biggest producer and the biggest DJ, the biggest artist and the biggest DJ. Ottawa, like I said, it's all love. Whether female, male, doesn't matter what you spin, what genre, what club you're at. It's all love, honestly. That's what this podcast is about. Yeah, not to be like weird or woke.
As always,
like
nthnsolo, everybody. Appreciate having you on. Thank you so much for actually just watching this episode. Me and Spinny, actually, from the bottom of our hearts, appreciate it. If you came to the end of the episode, it's just one of those things where it's like you don't have to be watching and you stuck around, so it's a big thank you. So
thank you.
Trying to make moves in the city, trying to get out of the rut, and
that's it.
That's it. Thank you for coming on.
This is how you know there's like no script to this. This is the raw podcast ever. And scene.